What's up, everybody? So this channel I started in 2007 as a game channel. I'm sure I've told you all this before, but and then in around 2015 I switched to mostly being about toys, model kits, stuff like that. It's always its purpose has always been to really just create a record so that I can have kind of a copy of some of my thoughts and likes and dislikes online, but also I save a backup of these original videos and or audio if it's a podcast. Lately I've been rethinking kind of how I want to do the channel a little bit. No big deal, just kind of a fun little change I thought you might want to hear about. It's kind of a fun hobby, kind of making a digital timeline of your life, which I've been working on for years. Just, every week I'll do a little smattering of it here and there, and I'm finally getting caught up to modern day. And if you ever want to kind of experience it's kind of a therapeutic, not therapeutic, but it's very satisfying. If you ever want to kind of experience that, sit down with just like a sheet of paper or something and write down, let's say, your top 5 favorite movies or your top 5 favorite toys or model kits. And it sounds silly, but it's a fun, simple exercise that makes you actually quantify in your head and on paper your likes and dislikes, why this number one thing is your number one thing, whatever, a movie, album, a photo of your life, top 5 vacations you ever took, whatever it is. And it's a really, let's just say this, if you're ever having trouble sleeping, do that exercise in your head. Say, I want to make the top 5. What would the top 5 things I'd spend $1 million on or something? It's a very light, simple activity. It's not heavy. It gets your brain thinking, imagining something else other than how horrible the world is right now. But anyway, so this channel is, number one, to share with the public, my toys and my favorite things and stuff like that. A few of my thoughts on that, but also to serve as a backup for my life. Very interesting stuff. Like I always say, I always wished my father, who I got on with fine, but I didn't know much about him. That much about him, really. About his youth, I should say. Imagine if he had kept a diary, just a simple diary, once a week, wrote a journal or something, or took a photo once a week. That would be incredible to have. But I didn't have that. So I kind of operate under that kind of thing, Anyway. So this channel, I used to do 3 and 4 videos a week. That not only got tiring, but it started feeling a little bit like a job. But it also got, not too expensive, but just kind of like annoyingly, I was like having to figure out a little budget on it, stuff like that. So I've been doing 2 videos a week for quite a while now, generally Wednesdays and Saturdays. And what I find is, even with that, between my working, hanging out with my wife, doing other fun activities like that, going out, the summer's coming up, so I'm going to want to go to the beach more and stuff and explore museums and stuff like that. Even 2 videos a week generally means that I either have to find the toy or whatever and buy it, unbox it, talk about it. But I also have to build the model kit, buy it, get it ordered, blah, 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 blah. And each one of those activities adds up and takes away from the time I could be spending literally just what I call messing with. I love messing with stuff. For example, this is Fortnite Fig. This character came in 2 versions. She came in more of like a fantasy version before, this is more like realistic kind of version. I just thought this was a really neat character. They're like, some of these Fortnite toys were like a stylized, almost my perfect ideal of stylized, my perfect level, where it still looks realistic, but it definitely looks cartoony as well, but it's not over exaggerated. I just love that kind of midpoint, that this has. And this was one of my favorite toys, and because they would go on sale so much, I probably have 5 of these, of the different versions, and I just sit there and I mess with it. I'll be working or whatever. Like, her camera can come off her neck, her camera's loose, she's got this cool, like a sweatshirt tied around her waist. And it's just a really, fun toy that I grew to love because because I was able to take the time, a little bit of time here and there. I was able to take the time to mess with it and just sit there and say, oh, well, that's cool. She's double jointed and she's got these cool posing and all these little details. You could paint her and make her really cool. I'm going to sit on my leg for a minute here. You could make, you could paint her up and stuff like that. She comes with a backpack, but so you could put stuff on her, just a really interesting little figure. And the more I grew to love it, the more, that's why she's on one of my top 50s. By the way, this is going to be my top 50 list over here. So that's going to change and morph over the next until June when I sum all those up in a series of videos. And I thought, well, that's really cool. Why did I grow to love this toy? It's because I was able to spend time with her, sit there and, neat, play with this and mess with that. I was able to take one apart and customize it, and just really neat, fun toy. I just think they're neat. Anyway, nowadays, when I even just do 2 videos a week, I don't really have as much time to mess with stuff. So what I want to do is, normally I buy, like, for example, 30 minutes missions, which you can't see them. They're all up on the top of my shelves there. I love that line, but because they're smaller and cheaper, I can get them more often. I build them quick. I put them out as soon as they come out. Not that I really care about getting them out that quick, but, I want to get them out when they come out so people, in case they want to buy them, can see a little review of them, helps them out. But I don't really have the time to sit there and, oh, that's fun. This is how adults play with toys. As you sit there and I go, hey, that's cool. Look at that. Oh, neat. Well, when you're a kid, you're playing war and stuff like that, and it's really cute. But as you get older, the reason toys are interesting is because you see the team of people who created this, the engineers who worked on literally the engineering of the joints, the manufacturing. There's a lot of interesting, fun things in this miniature little human thing, So that's how I appreciate them, and you can only really get to that level of appreciation when you take the time and you're able to mess with them, to sit there and play with them and pose them, and and a lot of my toys I have on my shelf, I haven't really been able to really get in there, and so a lot of my favorites, like these guys here, I've had the time to sit there and mess with them and just be like, wow, some of them, like B-Duck, blew me away as soon as I built it. It was such an impressive, fun, joyous moment. Even though I don't normally like cartoony kind of figures and model kits, that just blew me away. So I want to start. What I was doing is I'd buy like one $22 30 minutes missions kit, and then I'd buy another, and then they would all add up to my monthly budget, which I set right now about $300. That's kind of a sweet spot to where I'm just not. I could set it at 500 or whatever, whatever it is. I could set it at 100, but it's a perfect medium area I found, to where you can get enough to kind of for your channel, but also it's not overwhelming you. But even then, with the 2 kits or the 2 toys that I do every week, along with getting some of the little small stuff I find interesting, and then maybe a monthly box from USA Gundam store, I'm just building a backlog, or I'm building them so fast that I don't really even do the nub marks and stuff anymore, because I just want to get them out, get them reviewed. So I think probably would be a better idea is to switch to 1 video a week, unless it's like a podcast type thing like this, and have that week to mess with or to play with or to build or whatever that kit or that toy, and then be able to give a bit more, not only in-depth kind of report, but a bit more of a report on like really why I enjoyed it. Because right now what I do is I kind of discover a lot of that as I'm reviewing it. So if you're ever looking at my videos, I film top down on a table. I found that to be the easiest to do. I can do close-ups, but also far away shots. And even though the camera's pointing down, it doesn't kind of mess with your head. You do feel, when I hold them up like that, you do feel like it's right side up, if that makes sense. Also, being able to shoot at an arm's length, almost like a natural length, if you're holding it yourself, it gives people an impression, I think a more accurate impression of the size of something. Because one of the things we want nowadays is when you're spending $100 on a kit or a toy, I've literally seen reviewers who set it up on a thing and then maybe it's rotating and whatever, and they talk about it, but they never touch it. They never mess with it, or they pull it way too close to the camera. So I want to be able to have people feel like they're getting a review that shows the toy or kit as it is, because some of these things are expensive, and especially if you're a younger collector or maybe someone who doesn't have a lot of money, I don't want you to waste your money. So that's why that's important to me. Anyway, so I thought I'd switch to maybe doing the something like a Gundam monthly box. It's about $40 or so. Do one of my videos per week, because that's on a schedule. So do that every third Friday or whatever, Saturday or whatever it is. And the other 3 spend closer to, $75 to $100 or whatever it is to get something that's a bit more impressive. And, like B-Duck was only $57, but the box, if you go back in my videos and look, it was literally like, when I got it, I was shocked. This guy here, I'll show you real quick. I just got for review. This was $37, $35 I just got it off Amazon. Look at the size of that box. And it'll probably come out to be 7 inches tall. So not the most imposing kit, but I love, this is, oops. So I forgot to shut the, door to the porch. We have a porch and I leave it open because here in San Diego, in what is most of the country's wintertime, it's absolutely gorgeous here. So I leave the windows open. It's so nice. The cats love it. But if a bird lands next to that screen, I've had a cat go through the screen before to get to the cat. So you gotta only do that when you can observe them. I forgot to close it. They made a noise. I thought they ran outside, but we do not have outdoor cats, just so you know. So I got this for $30, and look at the size of it. So if I spent 75 or $80, or $100 on a kit, you're going to get this really impressive, just a big fun thing that I could build all week and have time to mess with it and maybe record a video about it a week later so I could have a bit of an overlap there. I just want to have, I've gone through a lot of stages where I prefer this little small HG size kits and toys, little 1/35th scale stuff, and that's cool. But what I find is that I end up getting really attracted to these big, silly, kind of big kits are not usually Gundam kits. You can definitely get big kits like the Destroy Gundam I got for $129, big impressive kits, but there's all these other manufacturers out there who make incredible kits with high quality, like the people who made B-Duck, just a really high quality plastic, and I want to start experiencing those. And really the only way I can do that is give myself time to research them. I don't just buy them blindly. I do look up other reviews and stuff to give me an idea if it's worth it, because you are spending quite a bit of money on one kit. So unless I know for sure, it's going to give me time to research it, to build it, to mess with it, and to film a review. And also, I don't want to ever, anytime this channel or any hobby of mine starts to feel like a job, which I see a lot of hobbyists do, it starts to feel like a job. What's the point? You could do the most fun thing in the world, which I've done. I've written about video games, even though it was a poor living, it was still a living. I've worked on a video game. The only thing I haven't done is made my own toy kit or model kit. But when it starts to become a job, it can suck the joy out of anything. So I have a job that makes my money. My wife has her job that makes her money. And we have our hobbies because those are not our job. And we don't want it to change into that. Maybe one day it will. Maybe I'll create my own toy or something. That would be fun. But you get what I'm saying. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of switching to a little bit. Maybe I'm going to try, I think, through the month of March. For the month of March, it'll be kind of like my trial run or whatever. So let me know what you think. I've experimented with different types of videos and stuff, but in general, I like big, fun stuff that makes me smile. And I have to be able to spend time with those things, or I'm not going to be able to give a fun review on it. So anyway, have a good one, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Bye. I'll see you later. Bye, 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 bye.